You may recall a video I did a little while ago about some Ubisoft executives who were potentially in some hot water with the French Stock Market Regulatory Commission, the AMF, as the AMF accused these executives, which included Montreal CEO Yanis Malat, of insider trading. And now it seems they did get up to some shenanigans, as the AMF has fined the employees a cumulative total of over 1.2 million euros. Now, this was reported by Kotaku, and the AMF is alleging that these 5 executives intentionally sold a mass amount of stock in early October 2013, just days before the announcement that Watch Dogs and The Crew were being delayed until 2014. Now, following this slip in schedule, as I discussed in my previous video, Ubisoft's stock dropped by roughly 26%. So basically, what the AMF is saying here is that they knew these delays were going to happen because, of course, they're the executives, they know when major delays are going to be happening for flagship products, and in anticipation of a fairly predictable stock drop, they mass sold their stocks and, in the AMF's mind, committed insider trading. So you might be wondering, well, who got fined the most? Well, it was actually Yanis Malat who got fined the most, 700k, this is of course euros again. Francis Belay, Ubisoft VP of Corporate Affairs, 200k. Christine Burgess, Worldwide Studios Exec Director, 200k. Oliver Paris, Montreal VP of Executive Operations, 100k. And Damien Moret, Ubisoft Brand Development Director, and 15k. Now, Ubisoft is unsurprisingly remaining adamant that, quote, the people involved acted in good faith, and apparently there's no way that these executives could have known about the delays, as these are only decided by the CEO Yves Guillemot. Now, Ubisoft have released a statement to Eurogamer, and they said, quote, given the processes and timetables involved in the production of major games at our company and within our industry in general, we believe that at the time they carried out their transactions, these employees could not have been aware or anticipate the subsequent decision to postpone the game that would have been taken by Yves Guillemot on October 11, 2013. Regrettably, the AMF's decision represents a serious misunderstanding of the game development and production process at our company and common to our industry. Each major game requires the involvement of multiple teams across the company, but ultimately only the company's CEO can make an exceptional decision such as changing a game's release date. And of course, the executives themselves aren't exactly going to be taking this line down, as Yanis Malat did also say that all 5 of the employees implicated in the ruling will be appealing the decision. And he said, quote, we remain convinced that the whole process is unjustified, unfounded and illegal. Moreover, the Commission notes that the hearings conducted in Quebec are null and void. We therefore continue to defend our good faith and our rights before the Court of Appeal in France, and also the lawsuit in Quebec brought against the AMF France and the AMF Quebec. So there you have it. Those are all the information, or that is all the information rather, that we are aware of at the time from the AMF and from Ubisoft. Now, of course, we don't know all the information, and I don't know much about stocks and shares and all that sort of thing. I do have a couple of stocks myself, but it literally is talking to a friend of mine who knows what he's doing, give him the money and trust him to do all the stock related stuff, because I find it, quite frankly, a little bit confusing. However, there are some people throwing around that this seems a bit circumstantial, but you could also argue that yes, it does, but the AMF clearly knows something we don't, and you could also argue that these executives weren't aware of what was going to come and they did these sales in good faith, but unfortunately they can't really prove that they didn't do a thing. It's very hard to prove that you didn't do something, I guess, unless you can literally provide a receipt or video footage of you not doing the thing when they said you did the thing. In this case, it's quite hard to prove that they didn't know about this before it, because it does look suspicious on the surface. Now, I do find it a bit hard to believe that while Eve is the only one that can make the decision about the delay, that these executives wouldn't have heard about it. I mean, they're executives. They probably see Eve more than, the guys who actually program and make the games. They probably have regular meetings with him, and even if they don't see him that often themselves, they've got guys who work with him and, oh, did you hear Eve made the decision to delay Watch Dogs and The Crew? Oh, okay, that's interesting. So you see what I'm saying? They probably would have heard it through the grapevine, even if they didn't hear it directly through Eve himself. So I do find that a little suspicious, but given that we're never going to know the hard facts and everything that AMF is privy to, we can only go on what we know, and it's not that much. To be honest, there's arguments to be made that it's a circumstantial decision, but there's also arguments to be made that the AMF aren't just going to hand out a 1.2 million euro fine willy-nilly. So again, I'll include the Kotaku report in the description below this video. Make of it what you will, but regardless of what actually happened, Ubisoft have been fined, and short of an appeal where they are successful, this is obviously going to be a bit of a black mark and really, really bad timing, given the fact they're of course trying to fight a hostile takeover from Vivendi. So that's me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, thank you very much for your support. Do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It does make a huge difference and we really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you again. Thanks again. Bye bye.